Hello, and thank you for joining me on another one of my lifestyle series videos. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dmitry, and I'm an American expat living in the Philippines. Here, I'm going to share with you how my life is going living in Metro Manila. If you find this video entertaining, please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. And now, sit back, relax, and enjoy as I take you on a journey of my daily life as a time-lapse traveler.
That's one of the things that you will only find in the Philippines.
Hello and welcome to the second episode of this Metro Manila Mega Commute Tour. Before I forget to mention, if you enjoyed this kind of content, you should stick around to the end of this video to get a quick preview of what you can expect in the next episode after this one. Of course, if you do like the videos that I put out, then clicking the like button and leaving me even a short comment really goes a long way at helping out my channel. Previous episodes showed the actual public commute part of coming to Antipolo, and now we're picking up exactly where we left off just after getting off from the tricycle ride from the Robinson's Mall bus stop and right by the Antipolo Cathedral Square. Since this was my primary destination here in Antipolo, let's just start right there before heading out to explore the neighborhood and also to work up an appetite. A little background about this church. The first missionaries of Antipolo were the Franciscans. The first church was completed in 1632 in what is now Antipolo City. It was built by the Society of Jesus. Since then, the church has been burned in a fire set to it in a Chinese revolt just 7 years later in 1639. After it was rebuilt, it was severely damaged again several times during some disastrous earthquakes that devastated the city over the following centuries. I realized that I shouldn't just skip past the Marian image of Our Lady of Peace and Good Voyage, since this day was being marked by a voyage further than I've taken this year so far. Towards the end of World War II in 1945, the church was completely destroyed by Allied bombardment meant to liberate the area from Japanese imperial control. After the war, a campaign was organized to build a new church, with the construction starting in 1948 and completed in 1954, which is when the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines declared the new Antipolo Church as the national shrine of Our Lady of Peace and Good Voyage. The church was elevated to the status of a cathedral on June 25, 1983, and stands unchanged to this day. I took a moment of silence while contemplating the mysteries of the forces that govern our world and our place in it. I also stopped to make a prayer for the end of the deadly and destructive invasion of Ukraine by Russia, both being predominantly Christian nations. Although I myself was born in the capital city of Kiev in Ukraine, this war is something that affects us all and could still spiral out into a direct military confrontation with Moldova and Lithuania, and possibly many other countries in Europe. I also prayed for healing and the end of suffering for my wife, who has been struggling with a neurological condition for 2 years so far, and with no end to it in sight. But that is a story I covered already several times on this channel. To be perfectly honest, I've never considered myself a religious person, at least not as an adult. I do have both Christian as well as a Jewish background in my family tree, but I'm not someone that can be considered to be practicing a religion, beyond reciting a non-denominational prayer. As for my own views, I follow the personal conviction that it is what is inside the person's heart and the actions taken in life that truly matter, especially when it comes to the treatment of others and what overall influence a person plays in their environment. Now it is time for me to go out and explore some of the neighborhoods surrounding this famous landmark and spiritual pilgrimage site. One thing that is true of Antipolo, as lots of other places in the Philippines, that being growth through construction. I'm just hoping that those dangling cables are just there temporarily like that, because that just looks like an awful mess in an otherwise beautiful looking place. One thing that's not lacking here is all the places to shop for basic clothes and small electronic accessories, as well as of course food. More of that will be coming up later in this video. Look at this, seasick burger. Why haven't I ever seen something like this before? This honestly seems like such a great idea to take a universally popular dish and make it uniquely Filipino. That really made me regret having a filling breakfast right before leaving the house this morning. With all the walking that I'm just starting to do now, soon enough I'm going to have to find a place to stop to eat lunch. That, however, is one of the things that you will see in an upcoming episode.
Hi, good afternoon. Hi, can I get a piece of pandesal, please?
A piece of pandesal?
Yeah, please.
2 pesos, that's very incredible. Actually, I think this is the least expensive thing that I've bought in my whole adult life. Oh, can I see your shirt? It looks really cool. Tough story, Antipolo since day one.
Since day one.
Nice, tough story. I know that I can't be the only person to recognize how these unmarked clear plastic bags with yellow liquid seriously resembles urine, or ihi as it's called here. Wow, this looks very interesting. What is this? Oh, this is oil. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, this really looks like something else. You know what I mean? It looks like something different, something that's not food. What kind of oil is this? Is it vegetable oil, coconut, or what is this?
Virgin coconut oil.
Virgin coconut, I see, okay. I suppose this is because I usually see oil and other food products being sold in clearly marked packages. So this really took me by surprise. Yeah, before I get any further, I'm actually very curious to try this 2 peso pandesal. Yeah, flavor is actually nice. Pretty much exactly what you're looking for when you're having a pandesal. Very good, perfect texture. I like it. Yeah, 2 pesos, I would say it's worth it. I'll keep this bag for later. I'm sure it'll come in handy for something. Under different circumstances, I would definitely buy more of those. Wow, nice. Well, let's keep going. Hello. Welcome to my vlog. Yep. I really had a great feeling about going out of my usual element. Pleasant and kind looking faces with positive vibes everywhere I look. Even just the sound of the street hustle and bustle of all the shops, people walking by, and even the rattle of the motorbikes and tricycles passing by, all created a very welcoming scene as I was making my way through it. Sure. It's time to get into this massive wet market, which has to be one of the biggest markets that I've ever been to. I wasn't actually making stops in places to take a good look at the prices for too many of the different products, but from what I did catch, things generally had a cost of maybe about 10 to 20% less on average than I would pay for some of the vegetables I would buy in my local Rustan's marketplace, Landmark, or the Metro supermarket. One of the things that stood out to me were these bins of rice with the cheapest rice I've ever seen so far. Please let me know in the comments what is the best price you've seen for rice, especially if you think that 35 pesos a kilogram is nothing that special.
Hi, is this black pepper? Okay.
Another thing that was very noticeable is that way too many people were not wearing their masks. Sure, the pandemic isn't ravaging the population as much anymore, and we're now in what is considered a low threat level, and it's really not for me to say whether or not everyone should wear at least some kind of mask at all times. But this is just how things are now. And now we see that motorcycles are passing regularly through these spaces, as if on city streets. The ventilation here indoors isn't all that great, but at least the motorbikes that I saw there did not seem to be heavy polluters, unlike some others that I occasionally see on the streets. I can't imagine how it would be if thick plumes of smog would immediately blanket the unpackaged food products. Would be great if they were replaced by electric vehicles, such as those that are being more frequently used for passenger transport. That, by the way, is also something that you can see in an upcoming episode from this series.
Hi. Hello. Hey, para sa vlog.
What's up, people?
Hello. What is this?
Alamang.
What is it?
Alamang.
Alamang. It's a vegetable? Oh, okay. Is this coconut milk?
Coconut.
Coconut, yeah. What kind of oil is this? Coconut oil?
Palm oil.
Palm oil, okay. I'm really sorry, but it looks like something else. When you have to offload, that's what it looks like.
No.
When I was a little kid growing up in Kiev, Ukraine, when it was still part of the Soviet Union in the 1980s, there was really no access to bananas at all. By the time I was 9, I only tried 1 or maybe 2 bananas, but that all changed dramatically when my family and I left as refugees at the onset of the collapse of the USSR. Even while living in the US though, there were hardly any choices in the varieties of bananas other than Cavendish, which is due to the monoculture style of crop cultivation in most of the Western Hemisphere. Just when I thought I would be done with appreciating the smells of the wet markets for one day. But then, because I care so much about you, the viewers, here's more for you to enjoy. At least some of the intensity of the smells coming off from the raw fish is still with me to this day. That's not something that I can translate to you onto the screen though.
Hello. Hello, good morning.
For those of you who aren't familiar with this, these funny looking fans aren't at all meant to cool down the fresh meats, but to shoo away the flies that might decide to perform an aerial assault on these easy targets. Somehow, I did not see many flies there or any other kind of pests, so it looks like something is being done right there. This place looks more like a pantry, storage area, and sleeping quarters for some of the workers. I can imagine that a lot of the people running these stalls have to spend a lot of time traveling to and from their shops, and this is where they can enjoy some downtime. And now I'm going to have a little downtime of my own, as you can enjoy the next few minutes of my explorations without my voiceover interruptions. These quote-unquote parking assistants sometimes come out of nowhere and make their living on tips they receive for directing vehicles to their parking spots. I wasn't getting hungry yet, but this little boy wanted to eat, so I decided to get a set of chicken with rice for him from Bullywog, which is actually one of my favorite chains too.
To infinity and beyond!
Now I'm going to be winding down this video, but just to give you a little preview, later in the day you'll see me go by electric motorcycle transport to visit a popular local resort named Cloud9 to enjoy some very unique attractions, including an observation deck with magnificent views of Manila, a one-of-a-kind tilted house, and the reaction of gravity being shifted right under my feet. You'll also see me visit a hilltop restaurant with its own great views from their bungalow-style spaces, as well as other things that I have in store for you coming up next. As for this video, I'm going to close it out right here. I hope you enjoyed this second episode of the Metro Manila Mega Commute Tour. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you were to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also, please don't forget to hit the bell icon to enable notifications so that you'll always know when I post upcoming videos. Always take care of yourselves and each other, and of course, keep looking out for more videos coming at you from the Time-Lapse Traveler.